Hello everyone and welcome to the video today. We are in my living room right now because this is where I do a lot of my strength training. I don't need a fancy gym, although I will be joining one soon. And one of the things I want to talk about is how you can set yourself up for success with strength training in the comfort of your own home. So I want to go through a lot of the tools and implements that I use here at home to help me with my strength training goals, which ultimately make me into a better runner. All right, here we are in Jason's living room, and I'm gonna give you a tour of all the strength training tools, implements, and other types of body care products that I use here in my house to aid my running, to help me develop more injury resilience, to help me with self-massage and just to feel better throughout the day, and also just to get stronger and improve body composition. So many things to love about strength training, and I absolutely love that you can do it at home with a very minimum amount of equipment. So that's one myth that I want to dispel first, is that you need a bunch of equipment. What I'm about to show you, you don't actually need. You only need maybe 3 or 4 of the dozen pieces that I have here. So you don't need all of this. This is the result of what happens when you spend more than 20 years as a runner. I've collected a lot of different tools and pieces of gear over the years. And admittedly, a lot of these companies have sent me some of these products for free because they're sponsors, because they want to put them in front of me. But rest assured, I'm only showing you the good stuff. This is all the best gear that I have, the gear that I use consistently, and the gear that I trust. Now, one piece of gear that you saw earlier that you absolutely don't need, that I just included because I think it's fun, is this, a rolling wheel. This measuring wheel basically just measures distance. And so if you are a true running nerd, if you are a geek like me, and you want to know exactly how far a certain loop in your neighborhood is for running workouts, anything like that, then you're going to want a running wheel. But this is completely unnecessary. And what I do want to start with is some of the fundamentals, some of the basic things that if you don't have a big budget, if you don't have a big space, these are some of the things that I recommend. So let's start first with bands. Bands are really great. These are Emma Coburn bands I bought from her website. Thank you very much, Emma. But for a very long time, I didn't have formal bands like this. I used something like this, which is a very cheap piece of rubber tubing that you can get on Amazon or almost anywhere. And you can tie this in a loop that works for you to put around your knees, to put around your ankles, and really help add resistance to a lot of really great body weight exercises. So if you're completely new to strength training at home and you want to start adding a little bit of spice to your body weight workouts, start with some bands. They're very accessible, and what I do recommend is buying a couple different bands. You can see here, this is a medium strength band, and this red band is a light band. I have extra strong, I have extra light. My kids have hidden them somewhere, so I don't actually know where they are. But bands are definitely in my #1 spot for basic pieces of must-have gear at home for strength training. All right, if we are moving down the ladder of what is absolutely needed in our home gym setup, the next thing that I would say is a trusty kettlebell. Now, you can't just get one kettlebell, although I like to have a couple. I've got this 20-pound kettlebell. I like to use that for warming up and for exercises where I really can't lift too much weight, a lot of shoulder exercises. I also have a 30-pound kettlebell, and I have if I can lift it, a 40-pound kettlebell. Now these kettlebells are great because I can do a whole wide variety of exercises, and because I have different weights, I can use one for some warm-up sets, and then I can use my 40-pound heavier kettlebell as, you know, sort of the icing on the cake. If I want a really strong stimulus for strength, I know I've got my 40-pound kettlebell at the ready. Now, very similar to kettlebells are dumbbells. I've got 15, 20, and 25-pound kettlebells, or dumbbells rather, and I have 2 per weight. So if I ever need to do a more traditional exercise, maybe I'd like to do a barbell exercise, but I just don't have barbells available, I can use some dumbbells. Dumbbells are fantastic because they're cheap and they're incredibly versatile. So if you have a little bit of space to store some dumbbells, I highly recommend getting a few. This video is sponsored by Inside Tracker, our newest partner for the YouTube channel, and I couldn't be more excited. They are an ethical company. They are a company that I've been using personally for years, and they're one of the most reputable blood testing companies in the country. Inside Tracker tests your blood very simply. They look at over 40 different biomarkers, from stress hormones like cortisol to testosterone levels and vitamin D, also that you know what's going on inside your body. So you can tell if you're undertraining, you're overtraining, you're optimally training, or if you just have any other health issues that might be going on that might be impacting your running. And like I said, I've been using them for years. I've gotten numerous ultimate tests, and I'm about to get my third, and I added on the DNA kit. This is gonna be really special for me just to get a more in-depth look at what's going on inside me so that I know if there are any red flags that I have to address. And that part of the whole procedure is why I love Inside Tracker, because you know what they do? They don't just give you a report showing you how your markers might be in the zone or outside the zone. They tell you how to improve them. So if you are too low or too high with any of these metrics, they give you science-backed ways to improve upon them through diet, exercise, or lifestyle changes. So I'm super happy about this partnership. And if you go to insidetracker.com/strengthrunning, use code strengthrunning, you're gonna get 25% off any test that they have. This is a great offer, and I'm really excited to partner with this company, so I hope you take advantage of it. That's insidetracker.com/strengthrunning, and use code strengthrunning to save 25% off on any test. Okay, so there we go. Those are 3 of what I consider very fundamental, very basic, and quite inexpensive pieces of strength training gear that you can get for your home strength workouts. Now, I do have some things that are nice to have, but I don't think they're 100% necessary. So for example, I recently was sent a Mobo board. This is a fantastic piece of equipment for reinforcing good muscle firing patterns. You put your foot right here, and so your big toe is on this side of the footprint and your other toes just sort of dangle here, and it really forces you to put force into the board in exactly the right way. And so I would recommend this for 2 types of runners. If you are a very injury-prone runner, if you can't seem to go 1, 2, 3 months without an injury, you're probably a really great candidate for something like the Mobo board. It's a really helpful piece of equipment, and it goes a step further than some of the more basic pieces of gear that aren't going to quite address some of the more running specific needs that we endurance runners have. And making sure that your big toe can stay in contact with the ground, can really put force into the ground, that is really important for stability and for helping you stay healthy. So if you are someone who gets hurt all the time and you're just flailing around, you're not sure what to do, highly recommend the Mobo board. I think it's a wonderful investment of your hard-earned money because it really works. All right, there we have it for strength training implements. I did want to include another category of at-home equipment that you can purchase that I think is really going to help, and that is in the area of mostly self-massage. Now, self-massage has been proven to make runners feel better, and I think there's a real value in the recovery process when you simply feel good. When you can spend 10 minutes on a foam roller and just feel relaxed. There is value in that. And I think if we were to spend max 5-10 minutes, we don't really need to go too hard on this stuff, but if you can spend just 5 or 10 minutes per day doing some body maintenance work, some self-massage, then you're going to be feeling better on a daily basis, and your muscles are going to be more supple, meaning they're going to be less tight. You're going to have a better range of motion, and that means you're going to be more ready for those hard workouts, and your injury risk is going to be a lot lower. So let's start pretty simple. One of the things that I probably have 8 of these, 10 of these lying around the house. They are lacrosse balls. This one is a more formal recovery ball. And what this is used for is self-massage. You can put it on the floor, you can lie on top of it, you can dig it into your psoas. I personally love to use this on the arch of my foot, really rolling my foot on top of that, searching for any tender areas or trigger points that I might want to spend a little bit of extra time on. So if you don't have a really simple ball like this can be really helpful. Now, one thing I have gotten very recently that I've become a strong supporter of is a massage gun. Now, a massage gun is a very nice to have. They are expensive. You don't necessarily absolutely need one, but there is something about the percussive nature of these massage guns that just leaves you feeling very good. And so I know if I've done a hard workout and the next day I'm sore, I'm tight, I just am not moving well, if I spend 10 minutes with my massage gun really working not just the sore areas, but everywhere around the sore area, I feel amazing and I feel a lot better the next day. So I do think by opening up some of the blood flow in that area, promoting relaxation, and giving you that maybe placebo effect of you just feeling good, then that makes a massage gun a worthy investment. So if you don't already have one, if you have the means to get one, I love it, and I think you probably will too. Now, I'm also really loving this. This is a roll recovery foam roller, and what I love about it is it's hollow, it's quite firm, so this is wonderful if you really need to dig into some of your muscles. And what's really wonderful about this is this groove here in the center of the roller. And this can be used in a lot of different ways. For me personally, I really like to put my IT band right in there. And this gives me a wonderful massage on either side of the IT band. Now, the IT band has the consistency of a truck tire. It is supposed to be tight to do its job properly, so we shouldn't be trying to loosen it. We shouldn't be trying to stretch it or massage it with a foam roller. But if you were to massage the surrounding areas, which the roll recovery roller does phenomenally well, then you're gonna find a lot of relief. And for those athletes who might have IT band syndrome, then this raised area is going to be particularly helpful for you, especially as you get up closer to the hip and the glute, so that you can get a little bit deeper in those areas. Particularly for ITBS sufferers, that area tends to be where a lot of the tightness is. If you can loosen up that hip glute area where the IT band attaches, you're going to find a lot of relief. And the roll recovery roller is one of my new favorite toys for exactly that. All right, last but certainly not least, this isn't for body maintenance and it's not for strength training. This is to save your relationships. A yoga mat. If you are working out at home and you are doing strength training workouts in your living room here like I usually do, it's a good idea to put down a yoga mat because you don't want to be dripping sweat all over the carpet. You don't want to be making a mess everywhere, and that's going to save you some arguments in the future. All right, runners, my goal with this video was to show you that strength training can be done at home and it can be done on the cheap. You don't need all this equipment. If you want to get all this equipment, it would certainly help your running, but you don't need it, and you can get started with some very, very basic pieces of equipment, from a band to a kettlebell to a dumbbell. Make sure you get that yoga mat so you're not dripping sweat everywhere. But other than that, you can get started pretty much tomorrow with very effective at-home bodyweight strength training with a very bare minimum of implements.